Hey guys, Trap4 here today, and today I want to talk about a very hot, very heated topic in the goalie world right now, and that's the smaller equipment, the sizing changes. So, over the past couple of years, the NHL has really tightened down on the equipment restrictions. I believe it was 5 years ago in 2010 or 2011 or whatever it may have been. I think the max size, you can use whatever size pad you wanted at that point in time as long as it didn't exceed a 38-inch sizing. And then they kind of toned it down a little bit, make things a little bit tighter. And then about 3 years ago in 2013-14, they toned it down even more. And then there's a big thing about guys losing, 1.5, 2 inches on each pad. It's 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches of 5-hole coverage right there. But the goaltending stats, not only did they stay afloat, they actually went up and got better. The constant problem with the NHL, they believe, is that goaltenders are getting too good. There's not enough scoring. The games aren't exciting enough. But I speak for a lot of people here when I say I would much rather watch a 2-1 game or a 1-1 or a 2-2 game heading into overtime with some really tight goaltending. Both guys going 35, 40 shots each, hot goaltending. That's what I want to see. It's a tight, close game. That's, in my opinion, not just from a goaltending standpoint, but from a fan standpoint, that is far more exciting than, say, watching a run and gun, high-flying 7-6 game that you'd see back in the 70s or the 80s. That's not exciting. I want to see some good goaltending. I want to see some nice hits, some nice plays, maybe a nice goal or two. I just want to see a good game. And when I'm going, I live in Winnipeg, as most of you guys know. When I go to the Jets games, I go to probably maybe 1 or 2 games a year, depending on. And when I'm going to a game, I'm spending anywhere from $125 to $175 a ticket, plus if maybe I'm bringing somebody else, or if they're paying for their own way, which doesn't affect me. But I'm paying that money for my ticket, and when I'm paying for that ticket, I want value. I want to see something that's going to entertain me, right? And that is good goaltending, hits, saves, all that stuff. I don't want to see a 7-6 game. That's not exciting. If I'm watching that game, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just a matter of 3 to 4 minutes before I see another goal, and the goaltending isn't going to be that good, and it's not an exciting game. You're not on the edge of your seat, because if it's a 1-1 or a 2-1 game heading into overtime, you have no idea when the next goal is going to come, or if it's going to happen, if it's going to head to a shootout. You don't know those things. So that is honestly why I think that the NHL is totally headed in the wrong direction. But with that in mind, they're continuing to try and shrink the size of equipment, and you'll see in the video here, Hirsch put up a video a couple months ago at Sportsnet trying to tone down all this equipment because he believes that you can maximize protection, you can minimize the sizing. And granted, yes, goaltenders nowadays, if you look at Pekka Rinne or Ben Bishop, who's 6'5", 6'7", compared to, say, Darren Pang back in the 70s or 80s, who's only like 5'4", 5'5", yes, Bishop and Rinne took up a far more amount of net than Pang did. It's just the reality of it. Guys are bigger. Goaltenders, the average goaltenders nowadays are 6'3". For me, I'm 6'5". In a couple of years, I'm just going to be an average height. I'm not going to be an oversized goaltender anymore, because goaltenders are all big guys. That's what the trends are going towards. So you're not going to change that. Guys naturally take up a lot of net. Guys are finding ways to play simpler, more efficient, to be in a better position all the time, so they're stopping more pucks. That alone is what is propelling the game to have such good goaltenders, to have such close games. And that's why you don't see, 5 or 6 guys running away statistically with goaltenders anymore, and then the rest are just way behind. You see everybody. You got guys at a 930, 925, 920 save percentage. Then you got a few guys at 915, 910, and then very few at around a 905. Anything under a 905, you've barely played any games. You've played maybe less than 10 games a year. If not, you've had a game or two being called up from the minors. Goaltenders are getting that good nowadays, and I honestly don't see the purpose behind why they want to shrink the gear. They're changing the game. They're looking for problems that don't exist. Like I said, goaltending's good. That's what we need. Goaltending is the backbone, the foundation of good hockey. Come playoff time, who wins the Stanley Cup? The team with the best goaltending, the most consistent goaltending. If a guy has or if a team has a goaltender who's giving up 5-6 a night, they're not winning the Stanley Cup. This is how it's going to make the game more competitive, more intense. If everybody has a goaltender who's stopping all these pucks and everything's just so tight, you have no idea who's going to win. It's going to be an exciting game. Hockey has never been better because of this. But I really think the NHL is trying so hard to find problems that don't even exist, to fix things that aren't even broken. It's ridiculous. I really do think so. And I don't know, what do you guys think? I have a feeling that they're going to try to have this come down to the lower levels. So guys like me who are playing junior hockey, they're going to try to shrink down our equipment. For me, I've worn a lot of gear, as you guys know. My last set of Brian Sub-Zero 3 is a 36+3, they were huge. They're up to my hips, and I couldn't even move. Then I shrink my pads. I'm wearing a 37+1 set of Bowers, the 1S gear, and that's the shortest set of pads I've used in almost 4 years. I'm finding I'm moving better and I'm playing better because of that. So shrinking the equipment is only going to make guys better. Yes, you're losing a little bit of 5-hole coverage or maybe a little bit of protection by the shoulders because they want to shrink the chest protectors. But all in all, the NHL is only hurting themselves, I believe. You know, even guys in the NHL, guys in the minors have tweeted and put on social media, you're only making the goaltenders that much better with shorter equipment. You got guys like Jonas Enroth, Dustin Tokarski, who are 5'10", 5'11". It's going to hurt them probably more than it would have Ben Bishop or a Pecorine, who are so big, because all the goaltenders are that size. Everybody nowadays is 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", maybe 6'2". Guys who are 6'1", 6 feet are slowly starting to fade out of the picture. It's always going on bigger and taller guys. So guys, it's today's real quick commentary video. I just wanted to talk about this. I've had a lot of requests on social media to talk about this, and I know it's a very heated topic, so let me know. What do you think? Do you think the NHL is trying to be a bunch of traffic cops? Do you like the sizing changes? Do you not like it? What video do you want to see next? Whatever it is, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Also, if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, give us some support, subscribe for a lot more content. I want to thank you guys all a lot for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.